Hey guys, it's Tom Box, and we're here with Squiddy.
What's up?
So, this is part 2 of our Ultimate Counter Guide. We're talking about going first cards, and if we're lucky, we'll shove in the going second cards in the same episode. If not, it'll be in the third episode, so that we can help you kind of break down the early phases of this current format. So, how you doing? We just did hand traps in the last, well, for us, it was like 5 minutes ago. But
Yep.
to them, it might have been a day. You know, give you guys some time to digest, all right? You know, I don't want to overwhelm you guys. But, you know, across the top, we have our matchup, Snake Eyes, all the variants. It could be Fire King, it could be not Fire King. I think those are really the only two variants, aside from, like, Rescue Ace. And then there is Tenpai Dragon, Voiceless voice variants, Yubel, which is surprisingly a very annoying deck. If you don't know how to play against it, you're 100% playing at a time into a disadvantage because they also have burn damage that's built in. There's also Branded. And those are the 5 decks we're covering in this Ultimate Counter Guide. For the cards that we chose for going first, we have Crossout Designator. We have Solemn cards. I think it's mainly just Strike, but sometimes some people do play Solemn Judgment going first. D-Barrier, welcome back. Deck Lockdown, another popular choice. Threatening Roar for you trap card lovers. And also Daruma Karma Cannon. I think these are some of the most powerful trap cards. In fact, most of the cards we're talking about are trap cards today.
Yeah, I mean, traps seem to be really powerful when you get to set them and use them before your opponent can play.
Hey, I agree. You know what? It's a good thing that, you know, people can play trap cards again. And it's always a good thing. People always complain when, like, a trap card is too powerful. Like, when the initial release of Evenly Match. Like, oh, people can't put cards onto the field anymore. Well, no, you just have to commit the right cards onto the field and just hold some resources. There was a lesson to be made there.
Yep.
Okay.
Traps. I hate them.
Of course, some of these can be overwhelming, like D-Barrier. But speaking of D-Barrier, make sure you guys hit subscribe, ding that notification bell, and check out Squiddy's channel as well. But let's get started. We're gonna go column to column because we're gonna go matchup to matchup. So starting off with Snake Eyes and its variants, Crossout Designator. I mean, being the most popular matchup, where do you think this one sits?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty handy, you know, when they play like 20 hand traps nowadays. Having some coverage for them is nice.
This is like an easy mirror match card. You can also, you know, cover your bases.
Yeah, you can cross out a lot of things.
Yeah, it's also very good. I've even crossed out like a Flamberge once to prevent my opponent from using Flamberge at all, and it really sucked for them. There's just
Flamberge.
Yeah, you can cross out quite a few things. You can also pair it with Ghost Spell, and it's also like you cross out. They try to do something like use like the Gamma or Delta package, and you Ghost Spell that, and like, oh, everything is like super neg now. There's a lot of fun things you can do with cross out, but namely because it's like such a strong card. You can also cross out like Original to really mess with your opponent, because that's a hard neg. Or you can cross out Ash, and the Ash is now completely useless. It doesn't matter how many copies they bring back onto the field; it's all gone. Like,
cross out a cross out. Do you guys ever do that before?
Yeah, cross out. You know, cross out fun. You know, cross out. You just have everything available, and because it's the most popular matchup, it's always gonna be good. Solemn cards against Snake Eye.
Yeah,
I think it's actually pretty good because you can even hit some of the summon. So, say for Solemn Strike, you can hit Snake Eye Ash.
Yeah,
it actually hurts. Like, it's Gamma. Like, if it removes the body along the way, it's really good.
It is really, really powerful. For the low cost of 1,500 life points, you could win the game on the spot.
Yeah, it's actually like a complete shutdown because they lose their normal summon. They don't have Poplar access. That means they have to play Bonfire to kind of get the follow-up. But it's still definitely worth hitting. You can hit like when they start link climbing.
Yep. You can hit the link monsters. You can hit Witch. The link monsters can hurt a lot sometimes. When they invest like 3 monsters into one, and you're like, nope, Solemn.
Yeah, and they can't even use it. It's in the graveyard, but it's like it's garbage. It's just a filler card now.
Yeah, if it's like a princess, it was not summoned successfully, so they can't bring it back. It's great.
There's a lot that this can be done, and like even like Witch is crazy because also Witch will cost them a card on the summon.
Oh, true. Yeah, 2 for 1.
It's a 2 for 1.
Hurt.
Yeah, Diabel. This is a really good card. There's just so much you can do with Solemn cards. And it's just one of the better cards that you can play against them, especially if you're known to be a combo deck. Combo decks, your opponent typically don't play back row remover against you, so it can pay off more or less for free. You can choose the timing. Let me just put a giant X for this next card because we both know that they are linked decks, so D-Berry does not do anything. Deck lockdown, thoughts?
Well, it's not too bad. It shuts down a lot of things, like we were talking about beforehand, you know, like Bonfire, Snake Eye Ash, Snake Eye Poplar. Everything searches, everything that searches, you know?
Which, Wanted, or like, what do you not shut out with this card? This is almost like the anti-spell of the deck.
Yeah, now that Anti-Spell and Summon Limit are gone, people have to look for other things, and Deck Lockdown happened to be one of the alternatives.
Let's see if it has like good cover, good matchup coverage, or I can say like the other decks as well. So next we have Threatening Roar. I mean, at worst you buy a turn. Like, this is not for Snake Eye, and don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
It's definitely not for Snake Eye, but some decks just have it in there. If you don't have a better card, at the very least, they're going to develop a board that they're going to attempt to break. Essentially, they're playing turn 1 all over again. But if you've built a board that requires battling through, hey, Threatening Roar is going to force them to like keep those cards on the field, and they have to play into it. So I'm going to say it's like a conditional. It's like a weird conditional. Like, it can be good.
Yeah.
Unexpected.
You know, sometimes they can't even clear your field without having the battle phase. So, you know, not everyone's playing access code talkers. So sometimes you might be able to cheese somebody with this. Not to mention it's quite decent in time. You get a free turn to take no damage.
Yeah, it's actually pretty... Like, you're definitely going to get the turn back.
This is one of those fun cards. I remember when I had my super rare copy. Oh, it looks so nice.
I still have a super rare copy. It was a very recent one. It's actually over there somewhere behind the desk. It's actually not mine. It's Wise, because we went to the island not too long ago, and well, it's been a couple years actually. But like, they had not OTS packs. They had champion packs.
Wow.
And he pulled a Threatening Roar.
That's interesting. I think I remember seeing that on your table, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was exactly. It was there. My wife pulled a Bottomless Trap hole, so on the same day. Like, we know those packs were not scaled.
Those were some good packs.
Yeah, those are some good packs. I think we bought like 40 packs, and we pulled Voltic Kong. That was the ultra rare. We pulled Threatening Roar. And we pulled Bottomless Trap Hole. We pulled a bunch of like Vanity's Fiend, like rare copies of them as well. Like, it was like kind of, it was really sick because it was like a mixture of different like champion packs. And Daruma Karma Cannon. I think this card is actually pretty good against them because if you flip their cards face down, they actually can't do anything with them.
Yeah, or you send off their entire board of links. Like, even going second, we saw what happened at the finals of YCS Rally.
I think it's a great card. I think
that player almost came back.
I think it's definitely worth investing into some of these trap cards. See, you can play to your own tempo, and you can, like, you know, turn off the board early. You can turn everything off early, or you can use as board wipe. Such a scary card. I've actually gotten punished by this card many times just because I did not respect it. It was like, oh, what's a back row card gonna do? Like, I'm gonna go into battle phase. Oh, activate. Oh, right. I did not expect that at all. Like, especially when it came to what was it? I was trying to use Atlantis to clear the back row, but then they chained the Rumor Karma again, and I lost all my monsters.
Your whole board.
My whole board died.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so okay, I can say it didn't work out because I got really hard punished. Next, into Tenpai. Tenpai Cross Out Designator. I think Tenpai Dragons, they themselves should be playing Cross Out Designator for the Ash, for those cards. But against Tenpai, what do you hit against Tenpai? Like, for one thing, they want you to go first, and they're not going to hit you with hand traps. So I don't think you're going to be deciding going second cards for the Cross-Out Designator either way.
Yeah, and it's tough sometimes. You don't know if they're going to pick to go second or first even. So.
I don't know what to say for this one. It's such a weird one because I don't, like, for a deck that likes to go second, like, winning the die roll seems like a curse sometimes. Like, oh yeah, I lost the die. I lost the die roll. Oh no, they pretend to be sad, and all of a sudden they're like, well, Lightning Storm, Harpy's Feather Duster. Okay, activate Field Spell, summon on a dragon, go to battle phase, and you're like, oh, I think I just died.
It's the mind games involved, yo.
This one I really don't know. This one's hard to tell. I don't know if it's good. I think in a mirror match it'd be kind of nice, but aside from mirror match, continuing on, we have solemn cards. Okay, yeah, solemn cards are actually pretty good against them, especially not just like I would say not just solemn strike, but you can also hit them with solemn judgment to protect your back row. If you need to hit them with back row, I think solemn cards are just some of the best options you have against them.
Yeah, negate the summons. You can negate the summons if they're used on Chain Link 1 from the effects as well, right? To synchro summon?
Correct.
I believe.
I think most people aren't chaining like Chain Link 1, Chain Link 2 on them because they are worried about like having their monster destroyed. Typically, if you're a good Tenpai Dragon player, you would want to Chain Link 1 your Chundra. Chain Link 1 should be the tuner. Chain Link 2 should be the one protecting the tuner. Just in case, because if they go, oh, I'm gonna use Ogre on your card, then you can Chain Link 2 protect it, get rid of it. But if they have a way to kind of make your tuner disappear mid-chain, that's not good. So it's better to, well, you can stop the summon.
Right, they're not once per turn, so might as well just chain block.
You should just chain block, honestly. Like if you're gonna be using the two monsters, activate them both. Like a lot of the times, remember that you can declare the attack and then chain the card anyway. Just so that you can up the attack count, so that if you do lose Biden Dragon maybe a little bit earlier than you would want, at the very least you can bring it back without having to having declared an attack with it, like if you're missing an attack. So you should always declare the attack. The moment you declare the attack, it doesn't matter if the attack attempts to get negated or not.
Yeah.
If you get your body off, the attack declaration still counts.
Wise words. Guys, take notes out there, because smart Tenpai decisions.
And we have D-Barrier. It's back in the format. It's a synchro deck.
All synchro?
It's all
Response?
synchro.
I
mean, some people are trying to play the fire package, like the Zelantis OTK in there. I don't think it's worth it. There's no space for it. There's no space for it. If you play the Zelantis package, you won't have answers for decks like Yubel. You won't have answers for Chimera. Even like for Chimera, like decks that cannot be destroyed by battle, you will struggle through those decks if you don't have the proper package. And
Spirit Reaper suddenly became good again.
Yeah, I know. I struggled just to beat a Fadra.
Wow.
It was that bad. I was like, wow, I can't beat over a Fadra. All he did was like, his hand was not great. He set a card and he passed. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to try to beat over the... Oh, I can't.
Hello.
It was kind of annoying. Deck lockdown, it's insane against this deck. It hits everything.
No searching allowed.
No summoning from deck allowed either. So everything is like dunzo. Threatening Roar is a natural counter to this deck. I don't need to explain this one. The Ruma Karma Cannon is actually a pretty decent choice, only if it does not get blown away first.
Right.
If you don't get Feather Dustered, then if this lives in the battle phase, it will stop the entire turn.
So this can be activated in main phase too, right, Tom? Since it affects the player. So would their monster stay face up and then be forced to send to the graveyard?
Yeah, I think so. I think so, because it's the players as well. If it links to
That's true, right?
You can main phase this card too.
Yeah, so they're protected from the Book of Eclipse effect, but then they're forced to send. Interesting.
Yeah, you have to send it. It's so weird, right?
Yeah. Rulings. Know your rulings, guys. These can come up a lot.
Like, it's so awkward. But these are why those are the best trap cards to be played. Into the Voiceless voice matchup. Crossout Designator. I don't know if this card is any good against them. I mean, mirror matches maybe. I mean, what do you hit here?
I guess just the hand traps.
It's just it's just hand traps. You know what? Sure. If you're going first, you might block a few hand traps. I don't think it's worth it though, to be honest. Like, you can hit hand trap, cool. If I'm setting a Crossout Designator, would I even be able to use it against any? Probably not. Solemn cards. Is it good?
Not too shabby. I mean, you can hit Low, Saphira. Yeah.
I think
Diviner.
Yeah, just the standard Diviner.
Yeah.
Low, Saphira. I mean, it's not bad. I mean, you can consider it as like an additional hand trap you can use against the opponent. Consider it as that. But you would definitely not use it against what's his face, Skull Guardian, Because you might just run into prayers, and prayers are gonna summon another copy. Now you just burn life points for free, so that's no good. Oh, this is pretty good. You can hit rituals.
Call rituals.
But I will actually put a caveat on this. There is something to consider. Of course, you would call rituals because it's like probably some of the best. But alternatively,
secondary engine, huh?
Secondary engine. You got that right. So what are some of the things that they can actually try if they got hit on rituals?
Well, there's branded fusion.
So they have fusions.
Yep. The one that you demonstrated in your video recently, Tom.
Yeah, they can link. They can synchro because they still have Chaos Angel. They have Protos. It's good, but it can also have pendulums too.
The ostinato guys are all pendulums. They're gonna be singing a melody.
Like, this is the amount of other stuff they have. I know most people automatically go to rituals, and I can tell you for a fact that I actually got hit by this card this past weekend. I got hit by a D-Barrier while playing Melodious Voiceless Voice, but what ended up happening was that I got all the way to Protos, and I started dark locking the Labyrinth player. I started dark locking him like non-stop.
More than one turn? Holy smokes.
It was actually pretty brutal because I actually hard opened Nemesis. Like, I played Nemesis Corridor as well. So I put both Protos and Thunder Dragon Colossus on the board at the same time. And then I just constantly dark locked him. He summoned Ariadne, and he couldn't search because Colossus was on board. But he couldn't special summon any of the bodies either because Protos was still on board.
When the lab player gets locked.
Yeah, it was so funny, okay? I was like, and the thing is, where did it all come from? I couldn't actually open my Voiceless engine because I just didn't get there. But I had Ostinato engine, and I just played Ostinato.
You were playing Melodious, Thunder Dragon, Protoss control.
Yeah, it was that. Well, that part basically won the game because eventually I just got into Underworld Goddess, and Underworld Goddess started shutting down every single big welcome that was trying to be played.
Oh no, that'll do it.
And then to prevent me from getting targeted by cards, I had Ceravis into hand. When I activated pre-prep, I added Ceravis instead of adding the other ones. I just started blocking cards, and that was it.
That was very clever.
That was just the clever way of just minimizing the board issue. Next up, we have Deck Lockdown. I think they work against Voiceless, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, they search a lot. They are a ritual deck. Ritual decks like searching.
So it stops Diviner for sure because there's nothing there available for them. It stops Barrier.
Yep.
It stops pre-prep. This is just Droll. This is just Droll. This is Droll Ash.
Nothing is resolving.
The only thing that can resolve is Ostinato. No, even the Ostinato combo is actually stunned because it's stunned through Refrain.
Right? Yeah.
Refrain and Baka. They both can't get their effects off. Baka can summon from grave, but Baka definitely cannot get the deck summoning effect, summon a Refrain copy, and that also blocks the couplet from being added. So you actually cut the entire engine short.
Wow.
Okay. That's a pretty good card. Threatening Roar is, I would say, very, very mediocre against this deck.
Yeah, it buys you a turn.
I don't think buying you a turn matters when they're a control deck, and they will have more control than ever. I mean, they don't even swing into your board. When they do, they're probably gonna go for game.
Yeah.
Karma Cannon. How's Karma Cannon?
Well,
I think it's gonna get negated. I think it's just a bit slow.
Yeah, it just gets negated.
Like, flipping the cards face down doesn't really matter when you can just ritual summon with the card.
Yeah, I guess it turns off the low effect attributor self as an entirety because that's a continuous effect, but that's really about it, right?
Does it though? Yeah. I don't think it does.
Does it not?
Because if you tribute low from hand, it still counts as the entire material.
Oh, from hand, yeah, true.
I don't think it does anything for the low part.
That's true, yeah. I'll have to look that up. Then maybe you're right. So in that case, it doesn't do anything.
I don't feel like it does very much. We'll put a question mark here because it feels like the thing is half the time they're just gonna negate it. Like, if they're trying to build board It feels like it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't really matter what their cards are face down.
Yeah, you're right. Not the type of trap that you really want to.
And like, by the time that the stuff that matters is on the board, they have a negate already established.
Huh. Yeah. Let's call Guardian. He can negate what he wants.
Like, Odd Eye's Vortex Dragon can already negate this on the opening play.
Literally. Yeah.
But
That's
I
nearby.
guess I'll give it this though. It stuns the Ostinato board.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Because you can't Glink Climb, so you don't have to deal with as much. So it's fair there, but you're still burning a card before they even establish their first play. Yeah. Rough. Rough times.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Crossout versus Yubel, I think it's a very bad card. Because you don't, unless it's a mirror match, you're not syncing cards with your opponent. And even if you do sync cards with your opponent, it's not even that great.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's either a mirror match or nothing. Like, I guess in the mirror match, one of the fun things you can do, maybe, I think it might be Samsara D Lotus.
Oh,
That's like the
that would
only
be a
thing.
nice trade. That's a 1-for-1 clean trade, right?
Yeah, I think so. So I think it's just Samsara for the mirror match.
That would be a clean 1-for-1 trade. Yep.
What else is there? Next, Solemn cards. Super Poly doesn't really work. They don't really care about link climbing. You destroying their card is good for them.
I was gonna say, yeah, they get the grave effects, right?
Yeah, yes, they
That
do.
helped me out
They
on that
can
one.
be destroyed from anywhere. It doesn't matter where.
Oh shoot! So
Uh,
don't use this on a Spirit of Yubel.
No, that was actually the funny thing. That like I've seen people OTK themselves as a Voiceless player against Yubel. They activate Spirit of Yubel to block the hit from Voiceless, Skull Guardian, and they use Skull Guardian effect to negate and destroy it. But then that just summoned out regular Yubel, and Nightmare Pain's on board, so he has to swing into it now. And now he's taking 4,100 burn damage, and then takes 4,100 battle damage in that one swing.
Oh no!
Instant self DK. Like you take basically you take the 4,100 swing, and then you just let the monster live. Because if you blow it up, you instantly die. I don't think the solemn cards are that good. I mean, you can use it to stop. Okay, their link summon is going to be Lord Yama. That's the first link summon they always put out, and destroying that is not even that good because you load their grave with a revival effect.
Yeah, I suppose you would have to be very picky about what you use it on if you do bring it in. You know, something that actually hurts. Maybe on a link summon, like before they activate the effect, just on the non-inherent summon.
I think it'd just be Samsara D Lotus. Like if you're gonna stop them, stop the Samsara D because everyone else like really sucks. Like their point is like Samsara. Because like half the monsters just doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
You have to, and like the thing is, you're hitting such minor cards. Like the other engine would be like the Dark Beckoning engine that they play.
Oh, true. Yeah.
You can hit that, but that's not any of their key cards.
Dark Beckoning Beast.
It's not their key cards. Like what's the point?
Isn't.
Then next up we have D Barrier. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
I don't think they actually fuse.
No, they don't. It's a gimmick. Okay, the fusion is the tech. It's not even the main part.
Nope.
Deck lockdown. I think this one's okay. I'll put a check mark in it for now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's again. I think it's just Samsara D Lotus that you're really stunning out, which also stops Nightmare Pain. Nightmare Throne. What else do you stop? The Yubels from deck. If they load it into the graveyard, you're screwed either way. It doesn't matter. I think that's not bad. That's actually still a pretty decent. And the Unchain, right?
Yep.
Like Shavara. It's mainly just Shavara. I think that's a pretty decent amount of cards. Wow, man, deck lockdown is looking really hot right now.
There are a lot of things to lock down.
Against Yubel, Threatening Roar is very much not very good.
Yeah. Have a turn. What's new?
Daruma Karma Cannon. I heard that this was pretty good. Booking their entire board prevents them from getting forcing you to attack, which is also good.
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, it gets rid of the problem. The monster that can't be destroyed by battle and the one that burns you.
You turn off the Nightmare Pain, which is huge. It also turns off Eternal Favorite.
Oh, I always forget about Nightmare Pain's continuous effect. That one is easy to forget.
Yeah, the continuous, like turning that effect off is, I think, pretty crucial overall. And now you can actually use removal effects against those cards without worrying too much about, and also it turns off Samsara.
Yep. Main starter.
It's just like the Samsara deload is the second effect to change your effect into destroying a Yubel. You turn that off because they don't have a Yubel card anymore.
Ah, that's true as well, yeah.
So you have a lot of things that you definitely want to get turned off overall. Okay, that's kind of cool. Next up, would you like going first? Crossout Designator versus Branded?
I don't even think they play any hand traps, so what are you gonna hit?
Yeah, let's move on with that. Next, Solemn cards.
It'd be okay. I mean, you trade it with like an Aluber or something. I don't think it's amazing, but I mean,
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a card that I would choose to go for. I mean, like, Aluber, sure.
Yeah.
What else is there?
Branded.
Maybe a Cartesia.
Yep. If you Judgment the Branded Fusion, then they have another copy. They just activate the second
Exactly.
copy.
It's not very good. It's like, it's a bad trade. But not to mention that if they have Branded Lost, you can't even negate it anyway.
Oh, yeah. Even that.
Ugh.
Yep.
D-Barrier. Oh yeah, this was like this is like their most hated card.
I heard people were signing crossouts with D-Barriers or D-Barrier as a branded player.
Fusions. You cut out the fusions, they don't really play anymore. Deck Lockdown.
Yeah, it doesn't stop branded fusion.
Yeah, it stops everything else. Like, it stops Aluber from adding, it stops Branded Loss from adding, it stops can you still draw cards? You can still draw cards, right?
Yeah,
you can still draw. So it doesn't stop Albion. You can still mill cards into the graveyard. Branded opening. Oh, you can stop branded opening too. What else do you stop? Fusion. What's the one that summons? Reveal a card from the extra deck and you summon a copy of the.
That's fusion deployment.
Yeah.
So yes, you do stop that. Yeah, you're right. I guess it does hit some things, but not everything. Not the main cards.
No, definitely not the main cards. Definitely not the main cards. T-Roar, I don't think we care too much. Once they build a board, they're just gonna they grind really, really well.
Yeah. Stopping in a battle phase, a Mizu's battle phase will not be enough.
I think this kind of highlights the point where, you know, a lot of people like to say, oh, I can use this tech against this particular deck. But if you look at the amount of overlap that the cards actually have for the other matchups, you'll realize why people don't play it. Yeah, it's very good for one matchup, Tenpai. But it's clearly not very good against the other matchups.
Yeah.
Daruma Karma Cannon against this deck. It's like, it's kind of mediocre because you can fuse face down.
Exactly, yeah. I guess it's kind of like the low interaction. Can still do their plays while
they can still, the moment that they can still continue to play through the card that was supposed to do something, it automatically does not become worth it anymore. But overall, it seems like Deck Lockdown is a clear choice winner right here.
Yeah, I mean, not surprising. Summon Limit and Anti-Spire are gone, so what's the next best thing? Deck Lockdown's probably one of them.
I should probably dig that out. I put it away recently and it's time to put it back into the side deck.
Yeah,
all right.
I think I got some Ultra ones somewhere.
Oh, yeah. I think that's it for this one. Guys, if you have anything to add, leave it down in the comment section. I know we're not picking every single card because don't forget, your side deck is only 15 cards, and it's not like you're playing 15 different cards in your side deck. If you do, I will see you at table 500. But in any case, that's all we got for this particular video. We got another part coming up, which is the going second cards, which is probably more interesting, to be honest. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit subscribe, ding that notification bell. Once again, thank you, Squiddy, for joining in on our list breakdown on our Ultimate Counter Guide. And yeah, no, I really appreciate you for being here.
Thanks for having me
Go
here.
check out Squiddy's channel. Go subscribe to Squiddy so you can watch another Squidioh. That's right. And we got another part coming up, so don't go away. Hit the subscribe button, ding that notification bell, and I'll see you all in the next one.
See y'all later.